Hey everybody, so this is the second video all about the Human Body Systems project. So the first step is to go to Google Classroom, which I have pulled up here. And right now you can see on your screen that I have an assignment posted. It's called the Turn-In for the Human Body System Project. The due date for this is this Friday, April 3rd by midnight. This is where you're going to upload your Human Body Systems project. You have space to attach any images or documents or anything you need to show your learning for the Human Body System project. There is also a assignment here called the Human Body Project questions. There are 3 questions that you are responsible for answering individually. So even if you worked with a partner on this assignment, you have to answer these questions on your own. A note about uploading your project. If you worked with a partner, only one partner has to upload the project, but you just need to make it really clear to me that both of you collaborated to make the final project together. So it has to be somewhere in your project, both partners' names, so that I can give accurate grades. If you need help with the Human Body Systems project, you can see I've got some different options here that are examples. I made these examples. So, for example, this is the outline for the skeletal system. In the project details, it talks about all of the bones that you have to show and all of the muscles that you have to show. And you can see that I have those things labeled here on the outline. I also included the nervous system. I added more parts to the nervous system than were necessary. I was just having a lot of fun drawing the nervous system into the model. Another project example would be creating a newspaper. I used Canva to create this newspaper project. I chose an outline and then I modified it to be my own. I called my newspaper the Body System Sentinel, and it's all about the residents of Bikini Bottom. So it's all about SpongeBob. So you can see in this issue, we've got Squidward's respiratory system, Patrick's digestive system, Sandy Cheek's circulatory system, and SpongeBob's excretory system. So I used the articles here as the space to show my understanding of the different body systems, what the major organs are, how it works together with other systems. So my front page article here is that the nervous system announces that it's in control of all of the other systems. So it's already just kind of like a fun way to explain that understanding of the systems. What I really liked about Canva was it had really easy outlines to type in. I could pick different pictures to customize, and I could add as many pages as I wanted. So you can see it's a pretty slick looking newspaper. You could also use a Google Docs template and achieve something really similar. Canva, you can set up a free account. You also most likely have an account through LucidPress from a project that most kids did at RCI. So there's also that option. I've never used LucidPress, so I chose to use Canva. Another example project here would be making a trifold brochure. So that's like a travel brochure where if I were to print this, it would fold together into like a little pamphlet. I modeled my brochure on like a brochure for an amusement park. So my theme here is to visit the Human Body Systems Adventureland. And so I have space for all of my different systems. I've got my circulatory system, respiratory system, digestive system, excretory system, nervous system. And you need to make sure, again, with your writing, that you're showing those major organs, as well as how these systems work together. And it's also important to make sure that you're making it clear how nutrients and oxygen get to the cells and how water and waste products get out of the cells and then out of the body. This can either be done as like a separate paragraph on its own, or it could just be embedded in all of those different systems. So for this project, I tried to just embed it in all of those different systems to help make it clear how the different things like nutrients, oxygen, waste, and carbon dioxide are moving through the system. Again, I used Canva to make this. It was really easy to drag and drop different elements into here to change pictures. So that was a fun project. There's also here the answer keys to those review sheets that we worked on back when we had class together. You can see here we've got the circulatory, respiratory, and excretory systems. If you have done these review sheets, this is pretty much the information you need to write the text part for your project, right? So explaining how the excretory system works. This is pretty much the answer for how to write your information about the excretory system. For the 6th project requirement, where you're talking about how do these systems do things for cells, here it is. This is the big important ideas. So these review sheets were super helpful in getting ready to create your project. Here's that check-in question that I mentioned before. So I'm still looking for a couple kids to tell me what their preferred superpower would be. So here's another copy of those review sheets if you need them. You can always click on the document and make a copy so that you can type in it for yourself. And then you could share that with me if you wanted. In this case, you don't need to. I put a ton of resources up here about human body systems, a couple of Bill Nye's that are on SchoolTube, a cool video about if you could eat a snake or how many calories are in a cupcake from PBS Nova, and some different games that help us think about those systems in case you need a little brushing up on those systems. So here's that assignment for the Human Body Systems project. You can see there's the rubric, so this is how you're going to be graded. There's a Google Documents brochure, so you could use that as your template. There's the Body Systems booklet, so if you chose to do the outline or the physical model, you also need to have some sort of written component. So the Body Systems booklet is where you would type that information. It's just divided for you so that you can take a look and make sure that you've talked about all the things you need to. So for example, in this section here, you would type about the nervous system and how it works with the circulatory system. Here you would include information about how the circulatory system and respiratory systems work together. Again, we've got digestive systems and how they work with the circulatory system and how it works with the excretory system, and our nervous system and how it works with the skeletal system. There's also a spot here. It's put in to remind you that you need to also include information about this 6th project requirement. So we need to talk about the digestive, respiratory, circulatory, and excretory systems and how they all work together for our cells. Let's go back here to Google Classroom and take a look at those project directions. big reminders here, you can work with a partner, but you can only collaborate with them through online or distance learning. Okay, so we're not meeting up to work on this together. We're all staying safe in our homes. And as you can see, there can be more than one person on a document at the same time. You could be typing at the same time. You could be adding comments, whatever you need to do. Here are those 5 requirements that we need to make sure that we're hitting how these things are working together. And that project requirement number 6, where we need to be talking about how those systems work together for your cells. Some highlights here in green. Any options can be completed alone or with a partner. Remember, collaborate at a safe distance. And then there's that written Q&A part of the assignment that everyone's going to work on individually and turn in. So if you take a look here, it tells us more details about each of the projects. For the newspaper, you could include news articles, pictures, weather, sports, advertisements, advice columns. Again, it's like you are using all of your creativity here. If you just want to write news articles, go for it. It's all good. Option 2 is that outline and booklet. This is where you're getting that information about what parts have to be included. So you need to show these parts. So the heart, trachea, bronchi, lungs, diaphragm, mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, gallbladder, small intestine, large intestine, all these things need to be shown. The model, obviously, not everyone may have a 2-liter soda bottle. So you could create a model using any materials you have at home, totally fine. But you're creating a model of the torso, so you have to include pretty much things from your esophagus down to your bladder and urethra. So just that midsection of the body is what we're focusing on. That option also includes that booklet where you type the information about how those systems work together. Option 4 is a book of poetry. So you need to have 6 poems, and each poem should address one of the project requirements. You could add illustrations. Again, you should try to add an original if possible. If not possible, I'm not going to penalize you for it. Option 5 is that brochure. So it's like a travel brochure. You could format it as an analogy for like a restaurant or an amusement park. So these are those options here. And you can see I've embedded the rubric into this page as well. You're essentially trying to show us this full understanding of your systems. If you are using information from other websites, you need to have this works cited page included. And then that, like, making sure that you're showing mastery, really you can show me that with your questions. So let's go back and take a look at that really quick. That's found in that turn-in page. Every single kid has a copy of this specific to you, and you alone will work on this. So you're just supposed to type in this document and turn it in when you're done. I hope this helps with any questions you have about getting started or finishing your human body projects. Please get in touch with me during my office hours or anytime so that I can support you in your project. I wish you the best of luck, and let me know if you need some help. Bye.